I remember it clearly. It was in the village of Okija many years ago. The kind of story that never leaves the tongue of those who witnessed it. Adana was the only daughter of Okoro, a farmer whose yams fed half the market, and Ngozi, a woman whose wisdom could silence even the proudest elder. Their daughter was their joy, beautiful beyond measure, radiant in a way that drew both envy and desire. Adana knew she was beautiful. She wore her pride like a crown. Her steps were heavy with confidence, her chin always lifted as though the ground was too low for her to gaze. She scorned young men who approached her, insulted those she found unworthy, and even dismissed the advice of her closest friends, who tries to keep their relationship for other benefits' sakes too. On her way back from the stream one day with two of her friends, Omokemi, like the villagers used to call her, probably the loudest amongst her pair, and Amara, if modesty was a person. Adana said loudly, "The Uya festival is around the corner. I can't wait anymore for it. Just maybe I would find the man of my dreams." Amara replied, "What man of your dreams, Adana? You've refused to pick amongst all the men in Okija. I wonder what your dream man is," she said jokingly. Omokemi quickly replied, "Adana, forget these villagers. You are not like them. If the chief himself desires you, does that not prove who you are?" "Don't mind Amara," Adana said. "She speaks always like my mom. In this Oya festival, so many men will be coming for the battle feast. I don't just want a fighter. I want a leader, young, wealthy, and really handsome, probably a prince." They all laughed as they continued with their journey back to the village. One evening, Chief Oba, an aging wealthy ruler who has always had eyes on Adana, sent his messengers to Okoro's compound. They came bearing kola nuts, palm wine, and fine clothing. Their words were simple. The chief had chosen Adana as his sixth wife. The compound fell silent. Okoro's heart was heavy, for in our land, refusing a chief is as dangerous as mocking the gods. But before he could answer, Adana's voice cut through the air like a blade. "Marry who? Never. He is too old, and old enough to be my grandfather. I will not waste my life rotting in his palace." The elders gasped. Women covered their mouths. Ngozi clutched her daughter's arm, whispering frantically, "My child, mind your tongue. The chief is not a man to insult." But Adana flung her mother's hand aside in a rage. She stormed out of the compound, ignoring the calls and pleas of her mother. She strode straight past the market square, into the night where no maiden dared to go. In Okija, there was one law every maiden feared. At the edge of the village stood a big baba tree, a towering giant, older than memory itself. Our mothers told us from childhood, when the sun sinks, no woman must pass beyond that tree. The spirits keep watch there, and they do not forgive trespassers. The air grew still that night. Dogs barked without reason. Even the moon seemed to dim. Her friends who rushed after her just stand at the boundary of the market. "It's sunset already, Adana. Please come back," they both shouted. But Adana was willing to teach her parents a lesson. Some minutes later, they heard a loud scream from the forest and both ran back to the village square in fear. No one saw Adana that night. The following day, her parents were seen walking straight to the chief's house, and we had the help in summoning the chief priest to Okoro's compound. "The price must be paid. The gods are raging," he kept on shouting. He gave something to Adana to bat with, and they both left with Chief Oba. Rumors carried it that Adana came back at midnight, with her clothes torn like one who just came back from the feast. She has refused to speak to anyone, not even her parents. Months passed, and the spark in Adana's eyes were nowhere to be found. And after some months, her belly began to grow. It was seen that Adana was pregnant. She confessed to how Shadow from the tree emerged and forced himself on her. He was tall, cloaked in darkness, with his eyes burning like hot coal. The spirit overpowered me, and in a blink he has taken advantage of me, she cried uncontrollably. The whispers came like wildfire. Later that evening, Mama Chika, who never tired of gossip, hissed as she said, "Whose child is that? No man can claim her. She has stained her family's name." Ezechi the palm stapper spat on the ground. The gods are punishing her arrogance. Watch, worse will come. Okoro stopped going to the village square. He walked with his head bowed in shame. Ngozi prayed every night, but no prayer could wash away the disgrace. Her friend Kemi still stood by her side, whispering, "Adana, forget them. You are still Adana. You are still beautiful." But Amara asked quietly, "Why, my friend? Why did you cause that tree?" And Adana in defense would say, "Better to carry the child of a spirit no one knows." Months passed as screams filled the compound from morning till evening. The midwives and women had gathered inside. Men waited outside. Okolo paced like a restless lion, while Ngozi clung to her daughter's hands, soaking her wrapper with tears. At last the child came, a boy, with his very big head, larger than any had seen. Even the midwives trembled. Adana went unconscious. She bled until her last breath. Ngozi fell upon her daughter's body, wailing, "My child, oh, my only child." Okoro beat his chest, cursing the day he fathered her. The villagers gathered to see the child. Some laughed, others recalled. Mama Chika shouted, "Abomination, oh! The gods had given us a monster." Ezechi sneered, "This boy will bring disaster. Just look at his head." The child was named Nana. He grew up with torment from his peer group. No one wants to associate themselves with him. Children will begin to sing cool songs whenever they see him coming, and even adults would whisper to themselves while laughing. Kemi, once her companion, disappeared from the village, too ashamed to stay. Nana would cry back to her grandmother, and she was there to always console him. Until one evening, the child could no longer hold it. He ran to the big baba tree while being chased with songs of mockery and claps by the other children. Nana stood, hiding and crying. He left when it was dark, told his grandmother what happened, and she joined in crying. "The gods are patient and the gods are just, my child," she said while crying. One by one, those who mocked the child began to suffer. Mama Chika's tongue swelled until it could no longer speak. Ezechi palm trees dried up, his livelihood gone. Even the children who mocked the boy woke up screaming in the night, chased by shadows unseen. Fear gripped the village. The elders summoned the chief. He looked upon the child, cast his kola nuts, and declared, "This boy is innocent. It is you who mocked him, and in mocking him you mock the gods. That is why the curse follows you. No child is a mistake. Every life carries meaning." And in that moment, truth pierced us like a spear. Adana's pride destroyed her, but our cruelty destroyed us. The boy was never the cause. We were. To this day, Adana's story is told to every generation in Okija.